It's been way too long since we last looked at a horrible Kickstarter campaign, and I've got a beautiful Kickstarter to share with you all today. It's called AnimeTube, and this one is especially evil because it targeted the purest group of us, anime fans. Weebs, like you and you. I'm not a weeb, god damn it, and I'm tired of people spreading that rumor. That's some absolute false, slanderous accusations. I simply can appreciate some fine anime, but I wouldn't self-identify as a weeb. So now that that confusion's cleared up, it's time to talk about football, titties, and anime scams. So let's take a look at the main Kickstarter campaign promotional pitch. Ooh, AnimeTube's coming in here raw, no rubber. The condom is off and they're not playing fair. Taking shots at Crunchyroll. AnimeTube won't crunch on your roll. Fucking Gangnam styling on Crunchyroll's corpse after that one. Damn, AnimeTube. I don't even understand, like, why the fuck that's there. It doesn't make any sense. That just sounds like some weird sexual euphemism. AnimeTube won't cream in your pie. Like it doesn't work, won't crunch on your roll. It's super dumb. Don't forget the things you see in this video because their actual product completely contradicts some of the things that they even say in the video. This video is the longest minute and 7 seconds of my life. Whoever filmed this should absolutely be fired and blacklisted from the industry. This is the slowest, most boring promotional pitch for anything I've ever seen. A single shot will last like 20 seconds in this video, and it does nothing. It is trash. It is absolutely awful. It's a minute and 7 seconds, but I feel like by the end of it, you've aged 6 years. I'll spare you further suffering from this Facebook royalty-free music montage. It basically just ends with them showing the front page of AnimeTube's prototype. So just to sum up the whole idea, they wanted to make an anime streaming platform that was more than just a streaming platform. It's anime streaming with a live chat service to connect with other anime fans, so basically like fucking Anime Omegle or AIM, AOL Instant Messenger, and also with a virtual assistant AI which can not only recommend titles to you, but converse with you and connect with you on an emotional level. So they're basically creating a fucking waifu therapist, which I'll get to that section in a moment. So just to boil it all down, AnimeTube was a streaming platform for anime with the tagline, free anime for all. And my god, they did it. They created a true utopia, the perfect anime streaming app. Don't take my word for it, look at these testimonials. It is routinely maintained, it's comfortable, it's quite logical and ergonomic. It's way beyond any competition, I like it. Steven. That is the Steven that said that. Notoriously picky with his anime apps, and he had that to say about it, calling it ergonomic and comfortable. Like, that's huge praise from Steven. But he's not alone because then Robert says, the best app for on-hand anime. I used to spend days looking up series, but now I just use this app with ease. That's that ergonomic, quite logical design coming into play right there. If Robert can use it easily, anyone can use it easily. I could put this in front of my dogs and they'd figure out how to watch some high-quality anime with AnimeTube. They consider Robert the dumbest anime viewer of all time. They call him the anime caveman. But he loves his anime, he's just real fucking stupid, and he had no problems navigating this app, so kudos to the design team to make it this intuitive. And then the final testimonial, and this one I think is the most important one. AnimeTube is an excellent app for old and young. It will keep you entertained for hours. It is fun for all ages. James. That seals it. What else do you even need to hear anymore? If you're not sold on this app, you're not human. Robert, James, and Steven were all in agreement that not only is the app ergonomic, but it's easy to use and it's entertaining for all ages. Like, these are the three boys. Like, this isn't just any old Robert, James, or Stephen. This is the legendary council of Robert, James, and Stephen. The governing boys. Like, these are the biggest fucking boys, and they're having this to say about AnimeTube? My god, I can't believe I hadn't heard of it until just now. Now let's read a little bit more about it, because it's something special. Scrolling down, you can see this hand touching some anime girls, just kind of showing what the website would look like if it ever had a chance of existing in the first place. Nothing too wild here, so we'll scroll down a little bit more, and then we get to the subscription part. You remember the tagline, free for all? Yeah, throw that shit right out the window. Look at this pricing scheme. It's looking real good. Yeah. Ah, that's super interesting. Free for all, but best if you pay for it. If you don't mind, please. And then, of course, they throw in the competition saying that they're low rated and what they're doing is actually the ultimate free anime app. And the amount of delusion that you have to go from showing the subscription pricing model to then calling it still free is just baffling to me. So basically what they want to do is make it free with ads. And you can pay to get the ads taken off. Which is eerily similar to what the competition does. Crunchyroll's pretty close to that, where it's free with ads, but you can pay to upgrade. So to me, it does sound like AnimeTube did want to crunch on that roll just a little bit, considering that they're just taking existing apps and making them shitty. But let's move on to the actually wild part, Amy-chan. Their virtual assistant AI, which would be native to the AnimeTube platform. So, Amy-chan will help users find additional content, so based on user history, favorite anime, shit like that, and build a show and movie queue. They want it to be more than a virtual assistant though. You see, they want Amy-chan to be like a fucking Skynet supercomputer kind of thing. Q&A capabilities where you can ask her questions and she'll answer them, kind of like the Microsoft paperclip from back in the day when you'd ask it questions about PowerPoint. But it's not that simple. They want her to also be able to connect and converse with the users. Through natural, branded anime-style speech, Amy-chan can converse with users and connect with them on an emotional level. They are quite literally trying to create a waifu therapist. This is actually pretty heinous. They're hoping that if this ever existed, which it absolutely will not, at least not in any way that they're pitching it here, they wanted to create some type of like Hatsune Miku obsession with the app and its users. So they'd have Amy-chan as someone that someone could hyper-fixate on. So a guy that's lonely would connect with Amy-chan by asking her like 2-word questions that are yes or no based, and they'd fall in love with Amy-chan and keep subscribing so that way they have access to Amy-chan. It's actually really fucked up. It's pretty dark. They're also teasing 3D capabilities where she'd have her own 3D animations for responses and conversations. They say think VTuber but with an AI, which I'm sure they absolutely could do, especially when you scroll down and meet the team here. So, I'm only going to show George. All of them are like this, where it's just random first name and then some fanfic about them. I'll go ahead and summarize this book report. It claims Ken and George are the two main chefs in the kitchen here, and they have a combined 50 plus years of full stack software development experience, including working on complex military software, as well as having a background in AI technology. And then with George's little segment, it says that he has 25 years of successful high-quality software development and leadership, as well as 2 years in Japan, 10 years on the mobile app and console development, and that's all you get. So there's no way of verifying any of this is actually true, but they tried, because at the very bottom of the page, it links to a LinkedIn for someone named George, but when you click that, it leads you to a dead page. So you click on his LinkedIn and it doesn't go anywhere, it just says this person doesn't exist. Which makes me trust George even more. He is so powerful that the government is scrubbing official records of his existence. The only way that George is able to communicate with us is through anime now, goddammit. He's too strong. That's basically it for the Kickstarter page, but this wild ride doesn't stop here. This was apparently not the first time they even tried this project. They initially launched it back in like last June or something with a $285,000 goal. They raised $50K, and since it didn't reach that goal, they didn't get any of that money. So now they've come back and lowered it to $50K, and they've exceeded that, but now they can't touch it because it's been suspended. According to AnimeTube, they suspended it themselves over the copyright issues that they were facing, but I've read evidence to the contrary. This isn't the initial page that they pitched it with. On this page, originally, they had a list of anime that they claim they were in talks to get the license for their platform. Some of the biggest in the world, the Attack on Titan, Sword Art Online's, like that caliber of anime, they had listed on their Kickstarter page to sell people on the idea, claiming that they were in talks to get this officially licensed for their platform. Anime professionals came forward and said, no, that's some bullshit. We've never even heard of these guys or talked to them. They were calling this platform a scam, and now it's been suspended. Anime News Network had a detailed article going over everything kind of as it was happening. They started getting called out all across the internet. They were blocking people on Twitter, calling them haters or shit and some shit like that. Then you had comments from industry professionals saying things like, anyone intrigued or thinking of donating to AnimeTube Kickstarters should not. They're about a decade too late to that business model and competing with Netflix, Warner, hell, even Disney, basically pointing out that they're really fucking late, which is absolutely true. It's very unrealistic shit that they're trying to do here, especially with their waifu therapist idea. It shouldn't take a lot of thought to recognize how fucking dumb it is. But what's really sad is the fact that a lot of people bought in, over 100K, and 5 people bought in at the $4,500 level, which is a load of promises that will absolutely never be fulfilled, and the biggest one being a cameo in the Amy-chan manga, which apparently they had an estimated release of December of this year. So who knows, maybe the Amy-chan manga is going to take the world by storm, and we'll see these 5 backers somewhere in there as a piece of manga history, some of the best characters of all time. But back to reality, going through the article a bit more, they talk about the titles that AnimeTube claim they were currently in discussions with for licenses. The list includes hundreds of titles that are already licensed by other distributors for the US streaming market. Nozomi Entertainment CEO Sean Kleckner publicly tweeted at AnimeTube, "Why do you have listings for my titles on your Kickstarter's anime licensings currently in discussion? We're not in discussion with you." That was hard for me to read, but basically, Sean flopped his cock onto the lunch table and called them out on their bullshit. And then George, the legend, the man and the myth, comes forward with a tweet and says, "Hey Sean, we've contacted you on LinkedIn to discuss directly with you." That's business right there. My man is networking. George has taken this opportunity, he came in with the fire extinguisher, and he said, "Yeah, we lied. Now let's talk in DMs, bitch." So basically the rest of the article boils down to other anime professionals saying, yeah, this is absolute nonsense. George then says that, oh, that's just a misunderstanding. We went through Japanese companies first, so they gave us the green light and their full support, but since we went to them first, the American companies weren't brought into the loop, so I understand that they're just a little confused. But no, this is all legit because we went to these Japanese companies, which they were also called out on because the company they listed as the one they went to that gave them like complete full support is a company that actually couldn't give them licensing rights in the first place or something like that. So it's just a massive mess. Obviously the whole platform is some bullshit to begin with. Like there's no world where A, this would be a good platform, or B, could even exist in the way that they pitch it. I just found this to be a really interesting story. To me, it seems like they just want to take the money and run as badly as possible. They had 50K on the table last time, but they set the goal too high, so they didn't get any of the 50K. This time they brought it down to make sure that they got the goal, so hopefully they could take the money and be done. And they exceeded the goal to 100K, but then they got suspended because everyone called them out. So they're just having a really hard time completing their scam. That's really what it seems to me. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. See ya.